Here with us now is Victoria Coates, Distinguished Fellow at the American Foreign Policy Council, and she was also a Deputy National Security Advisor under President Trump. Victoria, good evening, welcome, and thank you for joining us. So the Biden administration says green. The Biden administration really says green is the future. The reality is, though, is that the country's not there yet. America still runs on oil.
No, it absolutely does. And even more than oil, we run on natural gas, which has been an enormous boon to the country, is a very clean energy. We extract it, as part of the intro said, very safely, very cleanly, and we can exploit it cleanly. So the notion that we should suddenly take this aspirational leap to unreliable renewables like wind and hydro is illogical. We have the resources we need. All Americans should be well supplied and at a reasonable price.
Today, the UK also announced it will ban Russian oil. Victoria, how much do you think this move on the part of the U.S. and the UK will really hurt Russia?
In many ways, it's symbolic because neither we nor the UK nor Canada, which has announced a similar move, are large importers of Russian fuel. But it does send a very important message. And the other message I'd very much like to hear out of the White House is that they are fully supportive of American domestic production. That would have the most calming effect on markets and prices, that the policies of the last year are going to be reversed, and that the Biden White House will actually make good on its word that it's not holding back U.S. domestic production.
While I have you here, I want to ask you about another major development we saw today. Poland now says it will lend its fighter jets to Ukraine as part of a deal with the United States. What does this mean for the war?
It's a very interesting development. And I think what you're seeing, Jenna, is a number of countries that suffered grievously both during World War II and during the Cold War know what's afoot here. They know they've taken the measure of Vladimir Putin and what he's willing to do in Ukraine. And what's been interesting to me is everyone's been running around saying, oh, we can't do anything provocative. We have to take options off the table so not to escalate with Putin. And the only person who seems to have full range of motion is Putin. So I think, given the disastrous impact of his invasion on Ukraine over the last 2 weeks and his utter lack of response to the measures that have been taken so far, although they may bite more strongly in the future, I think it is time for a country like Poland, which is also in his crosshairs, he said so, to start to make some moves.
Mm-hmm. Victoria, just about 30 seconds left here, but what more would you like to see the U.S. do?
I would like to see them not be surprised by a move like this out of Poland. Undersecretary Norland testified a few minutes ago that they were shocked. They didn't know this was happening, so they don't have a response. So I would like to see better coordinated work with our NATO allies to make sure we have all options in place. I'd like to see us respond as much as we can respond as quickly as we can to Ukrainian requests for things that we've decided to supply them with, make sure those supply lines are very fluid, and then continue the outpouring of support for the Ukrainian people.
Right. All right, Victoria Coates with the American Foreign Policy Council. It's always good to have your insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jenna.